The funeral ended at 20:17 p.m. I remember because I checked my watch as they lowered the coffin and thought, with detached clarity. So this is the time my life rearranged itself. By 4, I was sitting in a lawyer's office listening to the slow, professional cadence of a will being read aloud. My husband had always been deliberate. He believed in paperwork, in receipts, in insurance policies paid 3 months early. 3 apartments. A house by the sea. All transferred to me. I didn't cry when the lawyer slid the documents across the desk. I didn't feel lucky either. I felt trusted. And suddenly responsible. On the drive to my parents' house, I realized something about myself, even at 37, newly widowed, financially secure. I still felt compelled to report home. Good news, bad news, everything had to be delivered like a progress update. The house looked smaller than I remembered. I let myself in with the spare key. They were in the kitchen. I heard my mother first. "She'll probably move back in," she said. After something like this, women fall apart. My father's chair scraped against the tile. "We'll have to clear the study, it's not ideal." And she never handled money well. I stood still in the hallway. My sister's voice followed, low and sharp. "She always depended on him. She doesn't even drive properly in the city. You'll see. She'll need help." There was no malice in their tone. That's what unsettled me. It was practical, administrative, as if they were discussing where to store winter blankets. "She won't manage alone," my mother concluded. Not for long. I waited for anger. It didn't come. What arrived instead was recognition. I had always been the one they prepared to catch. The fragile child. The overly sensitive daughter. The one who married. Above her competence. They loved me, I think. But their love had always anticipated my failure. I stepped into the kitchen. Their faces rearranged themselves so quickly it might have been impressive under other circumstances. "Oh, sweetheart," my mother said, rushing toward me. "How are you holding up?" I let her hug me. She smelled like turmeric and laundry powder. "Familiar. We were just talking about you," my father added gently. "I heard," I said. They froze, not guilty, exactly. Just unsure of how much I'd heard. We sat down. Condolences were offered in careful portions. My sister touched my hand. "You shouldn't be alone right now." There it was again, the assumption of collapse. I let the silence stretch until it grew uncomfortable. "The lawyer read the will today," I said finally. My father straightened slightly. "Yes. He left me 3 apartments. And the house by the sea." The words entered the room and settled like dust. No one moved at first. "All of it?" my mother asked. "Yes. Are you sure? No shared beneficiaries. It's already transferred. The paperwork's done." I didn't say it proudly. I said it the way you confirm a diagnosis. My sister leaned back slowly. "Well, that's substantial." My father's expression changed in increments. Concern gave way to calculation, not greedy, just alert. "That's a lot to manage," he said. "You'll need advice, legal oversight." "I already have it," I replied. "The firm will continue handling the properties." My mother's voice softened into something new. "You mustn't feel pressured to stay alone though. Even if you have houses emotionally, it's different." "I know. We could visit you at the seaside place," my sister offered lightly. "Once you're settled." The shift was almost elegant. I admired it in a distant way. No one mentioned clearing the study now. I looked at them carefully. These people who had always prepared a landing space for my anticipated failure. They weren't villains, they were certain. Certain that I would return diminished. "I'm not moving back," I said, calmly. "I'll be staying at the house by the sea for a while." My father nodded slowly. Of course, if that's what you think is best." There was a new carefulness in his tone. Not fear, not deference. Just awareness. Leverage had dissolved, and it hadn't required confrontation. I didn't tell them what hurt. I didn't repeat the sentences I'd overheard. I didn't accuse them of expecting my dependence. Instead, I said, "You always told me to be self-sufficient." My mother smiled faintly. "We did. I suppose I finally am." Dinner was offered. I declined. On the drive away, I didn't feel victorious. I felt unanchored. For the first time in my life, there was no one waiting to assess whether I would manage. Weeks later, I stood on the balcony of the seaside house. The air smelled like salt and unfinished conversations. The property wasn't extravagant, just quiet. The silence there was different from grief. It didn't evaluate me. I thought about calling my mother, telling her about the repairs I planned, asking her advice about curtains. Old reflex. Instead, I folded the documents back into their envelope and placed them in a drawer. Ownership felt less like wealth and more like space. My family still calls. They are warmer now, more respectful, sometimes almost deferential. I don't resent them, but I understand something I didn't before. Their version of love had always required my vulnerability. Standing alone, with no one predicting my collapse, I felt something unfamiliar. Not triumph, not relief, just the steady, quiet weight of being unobserved. And for the first time, I did not feel the need to report it.